Hey everyone, I've been getting a lot of questions about how to expand Annie charts or how to generate ideas for various issues that the students are exploring. So I thought I would make I don't know if it'll be quick, but I hope it's quick, a video on how to use the 5 common topics to help you kind of think more deeply about the story and the characters and whatnot. So just as a reminder, the 5 common topics are in your Lost Tools of Writing teacher's manual and student manual, and it's one of the main tools that we use for coming up with ideas. And so those 5 common topics are definition, comparison, relationship, circumstance, and authority. So let me start with the specific issue I picked, and then I'll show you how we used the 5 common topics in class to generate some ideas. So for the class topic, we chose whether Anne-Marie should have brought Uncle Henrik the basket. So if you've read the story, that's the basket that basically was needed for a couple different reasons in order for Uncle Henrik to safely take some of the Jewish people over to Sweden. So we started off with our common topic of definition. So first we looked at the issue and we chose 2 terms to define. So we've got Anne-Marie and Uncle Henrik. Your issue might be different, and so there might be different things that you're defining. But we defined those 2 characters, and you can see that we came up with Anne-Marie is a young girl. She's responsible. She's a friend of Ellen. You can see that we identified Uncle Henrik as someone who is brave, a fisherman. He trusts Anne-Marie. So you kind of get the idea for definition. Then we looked at circumstance. So when you're thinking of circumstance, first you think what's happening right here, like the closest to the story in the book. So for the for the characters on a daily basis, they're seeing soldiers patrol the streets. They're seeing Jewish stores closing. They're realizing that food is scarce. So that's all things that are happening right there with Ellen and Anne-Marie and the Johansons and all the characters. If you think about circumstance going out just a little bit bigger, you can think about, well, the Germans are actually occupying Denmark. Why is that? Because a war is going on. There's a Nazi regime in place. You can kind of think even farther beyond just the Netherlands and think about, okay, but beyond that, Sweden is not occupied at this time. So those are all circumstance questions. What's happening right now, right at the closest part, and then taking it a little bit further out. We then looked at our 5 common topic of comparison. And so we compared just a couple of things. So things like, at this time, the Jews were being targeted as a people, the Danes were not. If you think about 2 of the characters, Kirsty was impulsive while Anne-Marie was more thoughtful. We compared Anne-Marie, she was a young girl versus Uncle Henrik was an adult. Again, those terms came from our specific issue about whether Anne-Marie should have brought Uncle Henrik the basket. When we got to the 5 common topic of authority, you're thinking of things like, who's in charge at this time? Are there any rules that should be followed? Do we have any experts in this area? Things like that. So under authority, we had things like, well, right now, at this time in the book, people were obeying German rules because Denmark was occupied. We also kind of noted that in terms of an authority, God is our authority, and people were standing firm in their faith, both the Jewish people as well as the Danish people, staying firm in their faith to help others. In terms of other rules or authorities, although Germans right now are occupying Denmark, Sweden is not under Nazis' rules, so that was a difference. So you can see, and we didn't even get to relationship, we ran out of time, but that would have been another whole sort of area of things that we could have put into our interesting column. This black stuff here at the bottom were just other, things that we kind of noted. So I just color-coded the information section just so that you could see where these came from, that they were in fact from our 5 common topics: definition, circumstance, comparison, authority. Okay, I'm going to stop it here because it's getting long, and then I will do one that shows how you use this information to fill out your affirmative and negative columns. Just note too that you can just call it information. For me, the word interesting was a little threatening. Like, I don't know, is it interesting that Anne-Marie is just a girl? I don't know, but it is information. So don't hinder yourself too much about what you put in this column. It's really just information from the book. Okay, I'm going to stop there.